Hey guys, it's SJ. How are you all? I just thought I would do a little chatty life update because there's so much that's been going on that I haven't kind of had the chance to chat to you about. Especially if you don't follow me on Instagram, where I'm kind of on there every day with stuff that's going on at home. The channel's kind of been a lot more just my kind of sit down baby name stuff lately. I think just since lockdown, it's just been so difficult, hasn't it? And I had kind of was really excited for this year with all my kind of the thrift stuff I was getting out, and I had loads of travel plans, and then it just was you know, there's so much fear and worry for our loved ones in the world at the moment. It just was you know, put on the back burner. But I do have some of those videos actually filmed, just sit down and edit them. But yeah, lockdown, it's Friday now and kids are just playing now, it's late. This week's been such a weird one. I just was thinking, how am I actually feeling? It's just hard to even explain, isn't it? How you're feeling, because every day is kind of different, which I think is one positive that's really come out of this whole coronavirus thing, is that people are so much more willing to say, oh, I had a bad day today, I felt really tearful, and we're all like, that's okay. It's like, that actually was not that open a conversation a few weeks ago. But you know, I'm not down or anything. I had a real, you know, sadness at the beginning, and then I was really excited, you know, enthusiastic like we all were beginning of March of this time, this quality time, and then now I've kind of just realised, you know, sustainability is what makes it important. And that for me has meant that this week, when kind of we've chosen for Finn not to go back to school, his school is reopening in June. Yeah, but they want to take only half the classes back. His class is actually, his year is a 4-class intake, so there's 4 classes of 30 in his year, because each school, if you don't have that system where you are, in our areas there's so many children that they rotate a bulge year, as they call it. I did none of this before I was a school mum. So around Surrey and even in London, they kind of every year, one of the schools in a group of say 4 or 5 cluster agreed to take on another class or 2, so there's enough spaces for all the kids, because there's just too many children. So his is a bulge year, so they're really struggling to get all the kids back with the key workers kids, keep the social distance, have the right teaching staff. So we were kind of encouraged to opt out. Had a good chat with Finn's teacher. He's the oldest in his year, he's got his brother at home to do the homeschooling together with and socialise with, and it's important for Freddie to have the company of Finn. You know, they really keep each other entertained and busy, so that's our decision. You know, I was thinking a lot about how lately it does seem people are so judgmental of each other's decisions, but I think that's really normal, because I think whenever you're making a tough decision, it's human nature that we go into our decision and just convince ourselves we are making the right decision, because we're fearful that it's so important to us that we don't want to make it wrong, and then when we convince ourselves that our decision is so correct, you think everyone else is doing the wrong thing, and it's always easy to forget that people are in such different situations, even though we're all in one situation with this one common pandemic. You know, everyone's jobs are different. You know, people are on furlough, people have been back out of furlough, people have got to go to work. Some children really need the structure of school, some children are more confident working from home, you know. And I think that if you are getting any criticism from anyone around you, just think, you know, it's because they have to feel that their decision is the right one. They have to feel convinced of it. Like when I was a working mum, I found that decision, so I struggled a lot with it. I really wanted to be a full-time mum for so many years. Wasn't financially an option then, but I convinced myself that being a working mum, that every woman should work, is so important. Mothers are so underrepresented, and especially in London, in boardrooms. And you know, I was on the warrior path a bit about it, because I had to convince myself that I was making the right decision. So think of it in those terms, and I think let's all just be really wary of thinking that this is a right or wrong, because it's definitely not. But yeah, so Finn's staying home for our reasons, but yeah, I will see how it goes. But it really sunk home to me the longevity. I was really hoping that both the boys would get a bit of time back in school with their class before the summer break, and knowing that's not going to happen till September, I think I just needed to hit pause, stop getting up and doing Joe Wicks and routine and everything, and it was just kind of a time for us all to kind of go, let's just reset. I've had a whole week where we've done hardly any school, literally none. If I say hardly any, I think we haven't done any. Freddie didn't want to, and I've decided, you know, also pushing pushing work packs and sitting there and forcing them to do it isn't at all, they're not going to learn anything. It's going through emotion. And you know, me and Freddie have had this conversation. I was like, you know, home learning is about learning. You can learn anything you want, but I want you to enjoy it, I want you to learn. I don't want you just to sit and write because you have to. So we've had that conversation. He's kind of on board, so we're going to just figure out some new ways of doing it that are kind of sustainable until September, because I don't think, you know, will we take the summer holidays off? Actually, I find Freddie's much better, happier if he's done a bit of work. It gives him a nice sort of hour and a half to sit and put his brain to a project. And because he's 10, it's, you know, you can't just give him a bit of Play-Doh and a Batman toy, or, you know, it's quite difficult to keep him entertained at home. You know, he was out at clubs, football, swimming, socialising. He was getting to the age where he could have stayed out a bit later, going to friends' houses, you know, a lot by themselves. Hello, baby girl. And that's kind of been taken away, so just reassessing how we do things. But that's our lockdown stitch. But at home I've been fine. A few questions, I asked some questions on Instagram just so I knew there's anything like particular to chat about. A lot of questions are still about weight loss, which I find so funny. Like, so 2 years ago, if you don't know, I lost 4 stone very fast, so it was very dramatic weight loss, because I guess in the December I was like a size 16 and I went down to like a size 8 within like 4 months. It was a bit crazy. And I did the one-to-one diet. So all my videos on it are there. I didn't do tons and tons, and I really tried to focus on my emotional feelings rather than how to, or it's good to do a diet. I didn't want to add my voice to the diet culture, but I did, because it is a diet. And it was, for me, very much like, as I talked about back then, it was about putting myself back on my own priority list. I'd been so putting myself bottom, I hadn't even thought about or cared about myself in the right way for a while when I started the diet. And it was just perfect timing. My mum's a one-to-one consultant, she trained, so I was like her first client. You know, I was like, okay mum, I'll have a go at it. And then I really enjoyed it. So I was still doing it quite a bit before lockdown, because I've got a 3-year-old, and so we would go off, drop the boys at school, I'd go straight out to play groups. Everyone used to say they piss at me about on Instagram, so I would literally go to like 2 soft plays a day. Like, I just love being out with my daughter, meeting up with mum friends and the boys after school, needed an activity, so often we'd be out again. So I would often have like a couple of products in my bag, rather than kind of eating jacket potato. Like, places you go, there's hardly any good lovely options, and I'm quite particular about what I eat. I'm vegetarian, but I'm like 90% vegan, so I don't want to sit in, and I don't really like stodgy food, especially during the day. Like, I don't mind in the evening having a big meal, but so having a bar and a coffee on the go would really work for my lifestyle. And then I've got a whole entire cupboard full. I've got few weeks worth. But I actually decided not to start it when we're in lockdown, because, or carry on with it when we're in lockdown, because, you know, for the first time we're you know, it's a slow family pace. So we're having breakfast together, we're having lunches together, having dinners together, and I just decided this isn't the right time for me to worry about weight gain. So I've put on weight. I don't weigh myself, but I've definitely gone into a size 10 rather than my small size 8. So I wouldn't want to try fit my jeans on, actually. But I feel really comfortable. Like, I feel like what the diet did was, it took away the, you know, as I talked about a lot in those videos, it took away a lot of the linking my weight to my happiness, and it took that away. I sort of went through that process in those 5 months, and I was much happier, thinner. I was, can't deny, I loved it. You know, it was a brilliant achievement. I felt so proud of myself. I felt so proud of the me at the beginning who decided to do that for herself. But did I think my husband fancied me anymore? Not particularly. Like, you know, I've never felt the pressure from anyone apart from inside myself, and so actually the pressure isn't there within myself right now, which is great. But I think what the diet did was let me know that I can do it. So when this is over, or when I'm ready, I will do it again, and that will be really lovely for myself. But I know the diet works for me, so I found my answer, if you know what I mean. And I can go on at any time. And my mum, I must say, she's a one-to-one consultant, and she can now, it used to be that you could only see people obviously face-to-face, where it's the one-to-one, but now because of lockdown she can consult over Skype, and she can post products out to you if you're anywhere around the UK. So if you are interested in the diet, I will put her links below. Better say that, or she'll be like, because that's quite new for her that she can actually do that. And I know she said that she had a few clients who've come through from my videos. yeah, so that's kind of how that is. And then with the kids, you know, it's just, oh, what I'm doing with my hair, I'm a little bun in. It's just kind of like, you know, I'm just being really content with how lockdown has been. You know, Henrik and I, he's basically working the same hours as he did before, just in a bedroom. So I've been in charge of the childcare, so I've been doing all my gentle parenting. I've needed it so much to kind of keep calm. Like I keep saying, like I feel like we're like 4 simmering pans on a hob, and I'm constantly in charge of everyone's emotions, and kind of just constantly having to keep things simmering and careful and look after all these emotions. So that's kind of my job and that's my responsibility, and Henrik doesn't really interfere with that. There's definitely been times when he's like, you know, talked about punishment, and he's much less tolerant than me about small things. Like he's very particular about how things are. So he might be a bit more annoyed if the kids are in their pajamas past 9 AM say, or Evelina started having a lot of accidents around the home with her potty training, just getting older, getting distracted with her toys, and he was like, you need to punish her, she needs to have a punishment, and I don't punish and I won't punish. So I just say okay, but he will say it to me, but then it will be like my decision, if you like. But he wouldn't go in and send her to her room or anything like that, but he would be more stern with her. But that's fine, you know, they've got 2 parents, and sometimes his work version will work and sometimes mine will, but we don't clash on it, to be honest. We don't clash on it. And I've always been really calm. I am really calm. He's very laid back. I'm quite calm anyway, and I'm quietly spoken. I'm not confrontational. One behaviour I've noticed in myself lately, which I just wanted to say, so crack up, it's just that when he comes down after work, he comes down from his bedroom office, I get like a rage. I get annoyed, and I think, and I started realising last night, like I literally can slam doors, I get cross, and I was the boys chat night, and then I realised it's like the reaction I get from when the kids, when they come out of school and they see me and they smile, and then they'll just flip out at me for no reason. I think I actually am absorbing a lot of these tensions in me throughout the day, and then when I see him comes down from his office, he's like, hi, I finished work, and I'm like, rah. So I really recognised that about myself this week, and I thought, oh my god, I need to start thinking about that. But we've been getting on really well, and in the evening sometimes he'd be more sociable than me because he's been alone all day, and that's always going to be our thing, that I'm sociable all day and with the kids all day. So I often want to just sit alone, and he was always like, let's watch a whole movie, and I'm like, no, I just don't, I can't have any more input, I need to like just sit and zen alone. But yeah, so that's kind of a thing, but we've kind of, that's been our way, kind of used to that dynamic. He started to gravitate a bit of golf now, which is really good for him, to get out of the house and see friends. I've got a lunch date tomorrow with a friend, a social distance lunch, which will be really, really nice, hopefully, if we make it work, just to see somebody and chat. And I'm chatting to my friends a lot on the phone and stuff like that anyway. So that's me. I think I might do another little favouritesy thing, because I love doing the favourites and I always find those really helpful, especially in lockdown. And I'm going to go now, and it is Friday night. I think we're going to play a board game. Our best board game is Sorry. Best board game ever. And the boys want me to order some pizza, so I might just do that. It would be the first time they've had a takeaway pizza this whole time. So maybe it's the time to do it. Lots of love to you and your loved ones. Evelina, you want to come and say bye-bye? Come.
Bye-bye.
Come.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You beauty. You've been my best friend, haven't you, in lockdown. Do you want to say bye, everyone?
Bye, everyone.
You're the cutest.
Anytime we go to play.
Oh well, I had how long? I had 15 minutes off. We'll go play.
Anytime go play upstairs in my room.
Okay. Thought I'd shift off, was off. Bye.